Alright, so let's talk about Charlie Kirk. You read the title of this video, let's just get right into it. So, for those of you that don't know, Charlie Kirk was assassinated, he was killed. And, you know, personally, I think he was killed because of his viewpoints, because of, what he said and what he did. And here's my take on the whole thing. And keep in mind, this is coming from someone that is not Republican nor Democratic. I'm independent. So, let's fucking let's uh let's just get into it. So, my thoughts on the whole thing is Charlie Kirk did not deserve to die. You know, but his viewpoints were fucked up. A lot of them. You know, and honestly, while he didn't deserve to die and his viewpoints were fucked up, you know what's even more fucked up than that? The way that people react to his death. Like, I don't really care about him or about his death or anything like that. Yeah, he shouldn't have died, but I'm not gonna fucking mourn. I don't fucking care too much. But the far right and the far left are taking things way too far. Now, I got a conspiracy for you guys and gals out there, a quick one. But I think I know the reason why they're called the far left and the far right. Here's my conspiracy theory of the day. The reason that they're called the far left and the far right is because they take things too far. Way too far. You know? Now, I'm gonna start with the obvious bitching about of the far right. The far right not only is milking the death of Charlie Kirk and whatnot, but the far right are blaming things that had absolutely nothing to do with his death, such as, trans people, because, oh, that's all they can ever think about. That's all anybody could think about. Trans people this, trans people that. Like, trans people are not the fucking issue here. Oh, but the shooter was trans. No, he wasn't. Oh, but the roommate was. So fucking what, you goddamn retard? Just because the roommate was trans doesn't mean anything. The roommate didn't pull the trigger. The roommate didn't call for his death, as far as I know. I mean, the way that I see it, trans people are not the issue here. But they're scapegoated 24/7 by the far right, by Fox News, by Donald Trump, and all his merry band of fucking dumbass retards who don't know what the fuck they're talking about. So they have to spin some narrative to make the rest of us look bad. I mean, I'm not trans, but I am non-binary, and that's another thing they bitch about. Oh, non-binary. No, like, that's not it. That's not at all what's happening. That's not what's going on. What happened is some sick fuck decided to kill somebody. Now, do I think it was directly towards Charlie Kirk? Do I think that was the shooter's target? Yes and no. While yes, I do think that Charlie was the guy's target, I think the guy would have been just as satisfied if he killed some random civilian that just so happened to be there at that event at that time. I don't really think it would have been that big of a deal if somebody else died. Now, that's my question here. If it was somebody else, if it was anybody else, would you have cared? Would you have given the singlest of fucks that they died? Because if not, then why why do you care about Charlie Kirk and his death? That I'm just gonna fucking say it right there. I don't think anybody truly cares about him dying. I mean, do you know him personally? You know? I mean, yeah, it's sad that someone died, but do you know him personally? Or did you know him personally? You know? Now, I'm not gonna fucking talk shit about the far right or the right side all day. And keep in mind, I'm not saying that all, all people on the right are the same way, or that all people on the left are the same way. I don't think people on the far right or the far left care about anything except themselves and their agenda that they're trying to push. And, here's my turn to talk about the left side. Because I don't hear a lot of people talking about the left side outside of the far right. The far left is equally fucked up, if not more so. And while, the far right is using Charlie Kirk's death for political gain, the far right or the far left is calling for the death of the child and the wife just because I'm hearing a lot of people say, oh well, yay, Charlie Kirk is dead, next is the wife and the kid, kill the wife, kill the kid, whatever. Like, that's a fucking child you're talking about here. The wife did nothing wrong either, at least as far as I know. So you're over here basically wishing death on on two innocent people just because they're guilty by association, pretty much. Like, come on. And you want people to join your side? You want people to see your side of things? You want people to be like, hey, join the left, get rid of the right, join the left, join our party? And you think this is the way to do it? You think that, and this goes for both parties, by the way, you think that that's a proper way to get people on your side? It's not. It's fucking retarded and it's fucking evil. So, yeah, both parties are fucked up here. Now, do I think, because I hear people talking about, their thoughts on everything when it comes to what this attack could mean. Do I think that this is an attack on the freedom of speech and religion? Yes. I believe that this was a firm attack on, religion, because Charlie Kirk was a religious man. He believed in God, he believed in Christianity and all that good shit. As most people do, they want to spread the word of God and tell people like it is. Or what they believe anyway. I don't believe in that bullshit. But that's beside the point. Point is, you always hear, oh, well, this is an attack on freedom of speech, this is an attack on this, attack on that. And honestly, I do agree that it is an attack on something. Because if we're not allowed to speak our minds or our freedom of speech, what do we have? If we can agree on, if we agreed on everything 100% of the time, not only would it be boring as shit and we wouldn't get anywhere as a society, but it would just be a fucking echo chamber that isn't good. Oh, I agree with you. Oh, no, no, no. I agree with you. I agree with you and you and you and you and everybody on the whole fucking planet. That's the best part about having opinions, and the best part about, the freedom of speech is that you can say things that are different than other people. And, it's fucked up. that we have to kill people because of our viewpoints. And thing is, we don't. That's a fucked up thing. We don't have to kill anybody for any reason. But here we are, killing people. Now, do I think that, Charlie Kirk was racist? Because that's another selling point to what these people are trying to push. Yes, I think Charlie Kirk was racist. I think he was an asshole. I think, personally, he should not have said some of the things he did. Even though it is his American right to say things, that doesn't mean that you should. You know? And I heavily disagree with him on a lot of things. But would I call for his death like a lot of people did? Even before this assassination, a lot of people are calling for his death. Like, no. Like, I don't think I really do not think that Charlie Kirk deserved to die for any viewpoint that he had. And personally, I feel as if not only is this an attack on freedom of speech, but I also feel like this is just an attack on the way that we live as a society. That we are so divided by literally anything and everything that we just we can't fucking live as a society anymore because we are so divided by literally everything. I think we should put our political differences aside and help one another. We should come together in unity and solidarity. And, I also think that people need to understand, hey, this is bad, no matter what political side you're on. And I also think that, while people have taken things too far, and I'm going to fucking also say the the far left also did a lot of rioting and looting and shit like that, which again does not help your cause any. Like, if you want people to join your side, you do not riot, you do not loot, you do not hurt people, you don't break and enter, you don't do any of that bullshit. Oh, but it was fake, it didn't happen. So fucking what? Whether it happened or not, the fact of the matter is, these things do happen, and there are people that take advantage of this, and you shouldn't. Here's the thing. I believe in the First Amendment right as much as the next cat. Alright? I'm a firm believer that people can do whatever the fuck. Right? I'm a firm believer that you can speak your mind, but do so in a respectful and peaceful way. I understand that there are some times where speaking in a peaceful way does nothing, and sometimes you have to take violent action. But this was not one of those times. This was not one of those options. Did you have a choice to riot and loot and do all these things? Yes. Should you have done that? No. Because it doesn't help anybody's fucking case any. And you're giving the far right more ammunition. You are giving the far right what they want. The far right wants to spread everybody apart and attack everybody who is different than them, who views things differently, and so does the far left. Everybody is against everybody else. Don't give your enemy the opportunity. Don't give them the option. Just fucking don't. And regardless of what you think. I think people that participated in riots and looting and whatnot deserve to go to fucking prison. They deserve to get some jail time because this is unacceptable behavior. Now, as I said, both parties are fucking retarded as shit. But I don't think that everybody who is far left or far right are evil. I don't think everybody on the left or the right are evil. There are some people on the right that look at what the far right's doing, what the far left is doing, and is like, what the fuck? There are people that are on the far left, or left in general, that do the same thing. Not everybody is the same way. Not everybody is going to think the same way. Not everybody's going to think the same things. And I think we could use this moment of Charlie Kirk's death as, a way to learn. I personally think, anyway, we should learn from this. Political differences are also the problem here. Because some people disagreed with what Charlie Kirk was saying or what he was doing, people take that as, oh, he needs to fucking die. Which, again, I will say this again, he did not deserve to die. Do I care? Or am I going to mourn his death, his, family or whatever? No. I got better things to do than that. I got more things to worry about than the death of Charlie Kirk. But just know, I don't have sides. I don't pick sides. I don't pick and choose sides. I don't believe in picking sides. I think picking sides is a bad thing because you a lot of times don't see what the opposite side is. You don't see the perspective from both sides. You only see what you want to see. You only believe what you want to believe. You only feel what you want to feel. That's the way I see it. So to recap in this video, Charlie Kirk did not deserve to die, but I'm not going to fucking mourn his loss. I'm not going to mourn his death. The shooter was not trans. Trans people had absolutely nothing to do with any of it. The far left and the far right have taken things too far, as they usually do. And overall, this should be just a teachable moment. That we should just put our politics aside and actually come together. Right now, America's a fucking mess of a country because of all the things that are happening. And that we still, to this day, continue to let happen. Regardless of your viewpoints, you have to look at certain things as fucked up. You have to look at certain things as a bad thing. Because it is. And I don't think people should be killed for their viewpoints. I don't think, even if Charlie Kirk was racist, I don't think he deserved to die for racist viewpoints. I don't think that Charlie Kirk deserved to die for his viewpoints on the Second Amendment right when it comes to, a few dead kids to preserve the Second Amendment right. Like, I don't think he should have died because of that, but I don't think he should have said those things. I don't think he was right. I don't think he was in the right. And, I also find that kind of hilarious, too, that people on the right side of the political spectrum are usually the wrong ones. Usually the ones that are not right a lot of the time. And I always think that's just borderline hilarious because, oh, well, I'm on the far right, I'm right, which means I'm right. Just because you're on the right doesn't mean you're right. And in this case, nobody's right. It's a big fucked up cycle of bullshit. And if we do nothing about it, this will happen again. Because I've noticed, you know, I've noticed a cycle whenever anything bad happens. Something bad happens, like a school shooting or a church shooting or a shooting of Charlie Kirk, the assassination. And, it's the same song and dance, thoughts and prayers, blah, 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 blah. And then nothing else. And then it happens again. And the same thing, thoughts and prayers, which does absolutely fucking nothing. I mean, it's nice to know that people are thinking of you, and it's nice to know that people are thinking of your family and whatnot. But thoughts and prayers do absolutely nothing to solve the issue here. What do I think we need to do? Serious gun reform. Oh no, well, you know, um, taking away our guns again. No. I think people should have the right to protect their family and friends and their property. I also think that we don't need fucking assault weapons. We don't need AR-15s. We don't need, any, weapon that's capable of killing hundreds of people a minute. Assuming you shoot rapidly and you kill an individual target every bullet. Let's say, like an AK-47 or AR-15 shoots 30 rounds. Let's say that. And you hit every target. That's 30 dead people. And if you have one of those extended mags that can give you like 60 rounds, that's 60 dead people. And then you reload. And then you kill 60 more. And you reload 60 more. You don't need a gun that does that. No average civilian needs that. The military, yes. But the average, everyday civilian does not. You don't need those kind of that kind of firepower for any reason. Oh, what about protecting your family? Like a home invasion. Yeah, you want to turn your door or wall into Swiss cheese and, pay out of pocket to fix it? Oh, well, I do it for hunting. What, you turn the deer into fucking Swiss cheese, or the rabbit, or whatever it is you're hunting? You turn that into fucking Swiss cheese? The fuck is wrong with you, you sick fuck? And the worst part about it is, like, people will try to justify all of this. Like, oh, you're taking away our guns, oh no, gun reform is bad. No, it's not. And also, I think personally, people need to, look at, the thing here. They need to look at the whole thing of, protection. A simple shotgun will work. A simple, handgun would work. A shotgun, even. You do not need excessive force on a home invader. Like, come on. Are you fucking crazy? And I'm not saying, get rid of all guns. That's not what I'm saying at all. But another thing, people try to justify this and say, "Oh, it's our American freedom to have a gun." Yeah, but not assault weapons like that. Oh, but AR-15 does not mean automatic rifle or assault rifle. I don't give a fuck what AR-15 means. I don't care. No American civilian, no average civilian should have that. The military, yes. The military needs all the protection they can get to help fight foreign invaders and domestic invaders and all that good shit, right? But we also need serious gun reform in how people can get guns. It is way too easy in this country to be able to go and buy a gun. Even if you're a convicted felon or anything like that and you're not allowed to have a gun, it doesn't fucking matter. It is so easy to get one. Like, I don't need a license or anything. I could just go to a gun store. I can go into a dark alley, so, the stereotypical dark alley somewhere, and get a gun that way. I could go to one of my best friends' houses that have a gun that they don't want, and I'll buy it from them. My uncle could give me a gun. I mean, it's so easy to obtain one in this country, especially for people that are mentally ill and unfit to hold a gun, let alone have one. And, we need to do something about that. And people always talk about, oh, well, we'll do something about it. But it never happens. We never do anything about it. So we let these things pile up and pile up and pile up. We let these things happen time after time after fucking time. And nothing gets done about it. Because nobody fucking cares. Nobody cares. And that is the way I see things. Nobody cares. And I'm tired of people pretending and acting like they care when they clearly don't, because they don't have proper solutions that, or they don't want proper solutions, I should say, as well. So no matter how you look at things, it's fucked up. And I believe the death of Charlie Kirk could have been avoided. But that's beside the point. Point is, I think that, Charlie Kirk should rest in peace. And, I'm not religious by any means. I don't believe in God or heaven or hell or anything like that. But, thoughts and prayers of the family. The family is mourning the loss of, the husband and the father. And I also hear people not only wanting to talk death and wish death upon both the family, both the child and um, the kid, the wife and the child. But, they think it's a bad thing to forgive the shooter, to forgive the person. Like, I could never forgive somebody for doing that. So the wife has way bigger balls than I ever could. I would go all John Wick on people's asses if something like that were to happen to me. And I'm not violent by any means. I don't believe in violence. But there are exceptions to the rules here. And I'm a firm believer in that sort of thing. Everybody has the potential to kill. It's just that some people have suppressed urges. They suppress the urge to want to hurt other people. They suppress the urge to want to commit violent acts because of their morality and because of laws. The people that just don't care, they're not afraid of the law. They're not afraid to go to prison for life. because they already had nothing to lose, most likely. And it's a really sad thing to think about how something like that could easily um, just go insane. Anyways, guys and gals, that's it for this video. Um, you know, I'm not gonna bother doing my outro because why not, I guess. Um, but anyways, Ashley out, and yeah, all that good shit. And again, thoughts and prayers, rest in peace, all that good shit. And yeah, hopefully the family will get over it, as some people would say. Hopefully they will be better. Hopefully they get better soon, and they don't lose their mind. You know? Because it's really easy to seek revenge. It's really easy to just be like, hey, you know what? Fuck the rules, fuck the law. I'm going all in. Right? And it's just really sad that people are this way.